welcome back to GSF Weekly. Joining me at Warcat from Willow Glen High School is senior offensive guard and defensive end Dylan Pruitt. Thank you so much for coming out here, Dylan.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. So just to get started, how did you get into playing football?
I played Pop Warner once my 6th grade year, and it was all new to me, and so I liked it, but I never really continued it after that. Then my 8th grade year, since my middle school and high school are connected, my middle school PE coach asked me if I was going to play football in high school. And so I said yes, of course. I've always wanted to play football. I've always watched every Sunday. My mom really pushed me towards it. And so during the freshman welcome orientation we have at our high school, I was an 8th grader, and I got a special schedule. And so I didn't really know this at the time, but I got put on varsity my freshman year, so I kind of just stuck with it, and now I'm here.
And what was that like then, playing varsity as a freshman?
I didn't get much playing time. I did play every game, but just learning everything for the first time because it was still new to me because I haven't played in 3 years before that. I really liked it a lot. The schedule was harder. It was more difficult. It was a challenge for me, which I really liked. And it was just an overall great experience.
And what position were you playing your freshman year?
I was D-end and offensive tackle, but I've only went in for D-end during games.
Okay. And you mentioned that you even play running back, though, when your team's in the red zone.
Yes, in a goal line package, they put me at running back.
And what's that been for you this season?
I love it. It's an adrenaline rush for me and getting the ball for once. You know, that's every lineman's dream is to get the ball. And so when I get the ball, I try to make the most of it.
And you've actually scored some touchdowns this season.
Yes, I have 2 so far.
Okay, so what's that feeling like, you know, when you actually score? Because like you said, you're usually just making the blocks.
It's exciting, you know, trying to help out my team, putting points on the board. You know, it's just a real overall great experience, you know, trying to help out my team even more than just blocking for my running back or tackling the quarterback or running back on defense.
And how do you feel this season has started? You know, what's your mind going into the rest of the season?
Well, we're 4-0 so far, so I'm really proud about that. And, you know, I've grown up with all these guys. Most of them I even went to elementary school with. So I've always been on the same group of guys, and now we're all seniors. We all have been, you know, waiting for this, grinding this out for the last 4 years. So now that's finally all going together. I'm really excited how it's going so far.
Yeah, so 4-0 record. What do you think has been the key to that kind of success?
I think chemistry. We all know each other really well through football, personal life, and anything in between. We know everything about each other, and even on Saturdays and Sundays, we go to the field and practice by our own. And
let's talk about the coaching staff. How helpful are they, you know, during practice, during the games? What's that experience for you?
I mean, they help me a lot, you know, after every drive, you know, every time I get a break, if I ever do get one. I always ask, you know, what can I improve on better? Always asking for help in any way I can improve, and they've always given me really positive feedback and helped me a lot throughout the whole journey.
Yeah, and is there any specific coach that has been, you know, extremely helpful to you, motivates you?
I would say my lineman coach, Coach Flores. He's my main coach since I go D-end and guard most of the time. And he's motivated the hell out of me. I mean, his speeches and the way he talks and how he just hypes everyone to line up just gets me going.
And you're also a wrestler.
Yes.
Yeah, so what's that transition like, you know, from football to wrestling? Have you been doing it all 4 years?
Yes, I have. So I've done football and wrestling since freshman year. It's helped me a lot with my conditioning and body awareness, and especially tackling.
Okay. Yeah, and what's it like, you know, when football ends, you're going to have to start cutting weight, you're going to go to wrestling. What's that transition like for you?
Cutting weight's always hard. You know, it's always just another added stress on my body, but I eventually do get it done by the end of the day when I have to step on the scale. The transition's kind of similar in a way, especially playing like D-end, just staying low, just keeping your stance, and just tackling another guy basically, to keep it simple.
What's the lifestyle change like as far as your diet, or just, you know, you're going from a team sport to individual sport?
The diet very much changed. It's a lot more strict. I have to do a lot more conditioning and working out that I used to, and eating better, only drinking like water. It's a really big difference.
And you're a champion in the 195 weight class, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so how is that setting you up for this year when you wrestle?
I just want to keep it going. I don't want to lose. I don't really like losing too much, really. So I'm just going to do the best that I can.
So what do you believe has been your toughest match?
Ryan Reyes, 2019 CCS semifinals.
And what made that match so difficult?
I heard he's been wrestling since like 4. He went up to Clovis West, I believe. And he's been wrestling his whole life, and that's all he's ever done. And so I would say that's probably my hardest match.
Is your goal to stay in the 195 weight class this season?
That was my goal so far. I'm about 210 right now, so unless I want to gain 10 pounds and wrestle 220s, but I'm most likely just going to cut down and wrestle 195s again.
Okay. And which do you like better, football or wrestling?
I like both for their own reasons. I love football for the team sport, just putting all 11 guys on the field and everyone doing their job to create something, big and special. But I also like wrestling too because it's one-on-one. It's whatever I got against whoever he got and who wants some more.
And let's talk about school a little bit. What's your GPA like?
My GPA is a 3.2, and I also go to vocational school.
Okay. Yeah. So how important are academics to you?
Very.
Yeah. And balancing your schedule, playing 2 sports and going to school. Do you have a social life? Is it hard to balance all these things? I
try to. Some weekends I just don't, and throughout the school day I just can't. I'm just too tired. But I always try to make an effort to hang out with my friends and just have a good time.
And about the future, do you have plans to go to college, play football in college, or wrestle in college?
Yes, I do. I'm not sure for sports-wise what I want to do, but for my vocational school, I do fire science.
Okay.
Because I want to be a firefighter when I grow up, firefighter paramedic actually. And so my credits from that school transfer directly to Foothill or Mission. So it's just, I have that to consider, or whatever I want to do for sports is where I want to go.
Would you, go to a school for sports even if they did not have the fire science program? That
is still what I'm thinking. It's a consideration, but I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do.
Yeah, you're not sure if you want to play,
of course I do want to play. Yeah. But, eventually, I also want to start my career and being a firefighter, so it's kind of like it could go either way.
It's a big decision.
Big decision, yes.
And you're a senior, so final high school seasons. What are your goals going into your final football season, final wrestling season?
My goal is just to be the best that I can. Of course, I'd like to be, league MVP, mostly saying offensive lineman, defensive lineman, or whatever else they want to label me. And then for wrestling, be BVAL champion, CCS champion, go to state, see how I'm doing that. But overall, if I did the best that I can, I know I put in all the effort I can. Wherever I end up at the end, I'll be proud of.
And you mentioned your football team has great chemistry. So what do we need to look out for, coming this Friday and the rest of the season?
This Friday is against Westmont. I've heard they have a 3-star, 6'3", 230 D-end transfer from Midi. So his first game's going to be against us. So that's going to be something added onto them. And so I'm not really sure. I feel confident in my team and I feel like we're going to win. But I just don't know how that one player, how much he's going to impact their team.
Yeah. And what is motivating you, to not lose a match?
I just want to be the best that I can. Just putting everything I have out there and winning is an amazing reward. And so as long as I just keep pushing myself, I believe I will still win.
Yeah. And you also compete in track. So what events do you do?
I do shotput and discus.
Okay.
And I couldn't play last year because of my shoulder, but my sophomore year I did pretty well. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I was good.
Yeah, so you're a thrower?
Yes.
And what's that going to be like, balancing 3 sports as opposed to 2, especially for your senior year?
I feel like I can do it. Obviously, it's going to be difficult, but it's a challenge, and I love challenges.
And before I let you go, is there anyone you want to thank or personally shout out?
I like to thank my mom. I wouldn't be here without my mom. Her doing everything for me and keeping me in line. I also like to thank WarCat for, they took me under their wing probably like a month after they opened. I came here, the owner, kind of helped me out a lot. And then the trainers here, they've made me to what I am today.
How important is training, out of practice for you?
Training is a big thing, All these kids say, oh, I want it bad, oh, I want to start, I want to do this, but then when they get home, they go play video games and, just goof around. But kids who actually want to go to the gym after, they train more, they stay after practice late, so I feel like if you don't train after practice, you don't really want it that bad.
And do you feel that you lead by example with that type of lifestyle?
I feel like I do, yes.
Yeah. And how has it really helped you? Like, are you way above the kids that are playing video games after practice, or?
Oh, I know I am, yes.
And I just want to thank you so much for coming out here, Dylan. And here at GetSportsFocus, we love Ike's sandwiches, so we want to present you with this Ike's gift card.
Thank you so much.
And thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah.